That's right, Matt. Charlie, definitely.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on.
The big man Ian Wright just said there, that was poor. As the big man Ian Wright just said there, people deluded, I'm back again. As you can see above my head is France against Belgium, where the Euros 2024 edition of the European Championship is concerned. Obviously, one of these two sides has to go out, and one will be hoping to join the likes of Switzerland, Germany, Spain, saving the best till last, England, in the next round of this competition. I must admit, is it Romania, Netherlands tomorrow? I'm looking forward to that. I think I'm going to go and watch the Austria game with my friends, if I'm honest with you. Big up you lot. As usual, big up you lot for joining me on this watch along. We've got 8 minutes until kickoff. Talking points, predictions, get them in now. Where you look at both sides, really and truly, both teams, I feel, will probably be in the camp with England in that they've flattered to deceive. I don't think anyone's been impressed by the Germans, and a bit like England, it could be another loss. I mean, Germans, the Belgians, it could be another lost generation like the English. For the French, at the end of the day, you have to respect the French. You know, they've got the pedigree, they've got a great team littered with talent, but, you know, they ain't really been that good, if I'm completely honest with you. 9 times out of 10, it's the teams that look amazing that don't typically win this tournament. And anything can happen, you know. Extra time and penalties is a decisive factor in this. Obviously, for me, I'm gonna go 2-1 France, if I'm honest with you. I think Kylian Mbappe is gonna start scoring early doors, man. I mean, technically, again, where's my manners? Happy new month to you lot as well, people. May July and the rest of 2024 be filled with blessings to you and your loved ones. Technically, Kylian Mbappe is now officially a Real Madrid player, and it's got no relevance to the France game, but this just makes me believe, pardon me, he's going to end up bagging today. If you're on YouTube, smash the like button if you haven't. And again, my Arsenal fans, I'm going to get a transfer news video out for you lot, just waiting on the thumbnail. Pogba's in the crowd. He should have been on the pitch. You know, Pogba, it's a shame where Paul Pogba's career is concerned. I can't say it's a shame because he's won trophies. He's won the World Cup. He's, you know, developed into an international footballer, and he's played for top clubs, you know, Man United, Juventus, etc. If there's more. But I just feel he could have went down as a great, you know. Paul Pogba was one of those rare breeds of talent in that, obviously, because the man's over 6 foot and, you know, you wouldn't really want to fight him. He's a monster in that regards. Obviously, where the media comes into it, they describe these players purely just based off their physique. But I think Pogba had the perfect blend, man, really and truly. He had the physique and the athleticism and all of that stuff. And he played football like he's 5'6", if I'm honest with you. You know, again, I'm not saying he's better, but in terms of just giving them a football and seeing talent, he's up there with Eden Hazard and all of these guys. He's got passing range, dribbling ability, showmanship, bit of the X factor. Obviously, Pogba's career has probably been ruined by returning to Manchester United, if I'm honest with you, and injuries, if I'm honest, man. Like, Pogba will go down, you know, in folklore. He's had a great career, but I just feel he could have been one of the best modern day French players, I personally believe, you know, that we would have seen. And, you know, where you look at a couple of these young players coming on the scene, you know, I'm not even getting at them, but you look at Phil Foden, you look at Jude Bellingham, you look at Kobe Mainoo, you look at, you know, even, you know, the couple of the young Spanish players, not Yamal. If Pogba was coming up on the scene now, boy, it would be lit, really and truly. Like, he did, in terms of natural ability, I don't think half of the names I just said there can talk to him, if I'm honest with you. It's a big, big shame. DG, don't know if you watched the Yamal and Williams masterclass yesterday, but football in Spain is so bad. Yeah, of course. How could I not watch the Spanish game? Every game Nico Williams plays, his stock goes up. Yamal is destined to be the best player, I believe, someday in football. I don't know how far his career will take him, but again, fantastic assist, fantastic play, and you've got to love the temperament. And you know, comparison is a thief of joy, yeah. But what was we doing at 16? Like, and he's playing for his country, he's making the decisive factor. I think he's passed I don't want to say GCSEs, but it's well known that he's been continuing his studies while he's been playing for Spain during this Euros, and he's got it all really and truly. Not that I think he'll ever pick up a book again in terms of education or need to, but you get the point. Kickoff is imminent, people. Again, you don't let me down where predictions are concerned. See your channel on the Fan Reaction Football with the England game subbed, my cuz. Big up yourself, Ryan, and welcome, man. Welcome, and big up the the Fan Reaction platforms and whatnot. I did see that, and I went through the comments. I mean, it's better to be talked about than nothing, but you always see the comments like, it's really deluded. The guy in the white vest doesn't know the offside rule. I mean, it's better they talk positive or negative than whatever. But yeah, big up yourself, Ben. You've got 2-1 France. I'm with you with that, really. I do think Belgium will score. I just feel, in my opinion, France are better coached. They're better tactically. Again, individual brilliance can only make the difference so much and only go so far. But I think, with the greatest of respect to the Belgians, because Openda's got to start. Lukaku's due to score a legit goal. Doku's a nightmare to play against. Kevin De Bruyne is Kevin De Bruyne, but you've got Griezmann, who, again, collectively, France are flat to deceive up until this point, but he's a great player. Kante, in my opinion, is probably the best French player at the Euros so far. I'm not really a big fan of Thuram, but he is a good player. Kylian Mbappe is Kylian Mbappe. Hernandez at left back. Us fullbacks don't get praised enough. And you've got big William Saliba on the bench. I mean, on starting, Konate is on the bench. Pick up yourself, Marcel. Come on, Belgium, Kevin De Bruyne, you must rise. France going out today. I'm calling it. To be fair, if France go out, Saliba gets a bit of a rest. So I don't really care, man. And to be fair, I'd rather England play Belgium than France, if I'm completely honest. Even though, what was it, the last World Cup, we was in touching distance of beating them in the semi-finals. Marcel's gone 3-2 Belgium, 5-goal thriller. You know what? It'd be entertaining. And I can't say in terms of the attacking quality, there isn't 5 goals in this game, but 5 goals. You never know, man. Spain versus Germany in the quarters will be lit. I can't lie. To be fair with you, that you just wish that was the final. Sorry, people, I'm opening my window. It's quite hot. You just wish that was the final. And I guess if you're, the form the Germans have been in, the form the Spaniards have been in, you don't really care who you're going to play or who you're up against. But, both teams will probably have been hoping to avoid each other. I don't know, though, who would win that personally, because I actually think the Spanish, I don't think anyone can doubt the Spanish. But I just think when we haven't seen, obviously Spain have technically gone behind yesterday, but we haven't seen Spain have to react to adversity so far. And I think as much as I love the Spanish ethos, the way of playing, yada, 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 they can only play one way. It's the tiki-taka thing. Saying that, I am a bit of a hypocrite because Spain have done what they've been doing during the 2000s in, culture, tiki-taka, lovely technical footballers, that kind of stuff, people. But they have got Nico Williams and Yalmao, and obviously both of them can kind of play the traditional Spanish game. But this is the first time I've seen Spain with genuine 1v1 demons. Of course, they've had tricky wingers. They've had Pedro, for example, but genuine 1v1 demons. So I just don't know how Spain will react going to go down. I must admit, the last Germany game, there was chinks in the armor. Again, every team that's in the knockouts is there for a reason. But I just feel the Danish would have given something for the Spanish to think about to exploit with the Germans. But we got to remember, Germany's automatically, it could be a disadvantage, what I'm about to say, but they're automatically at an advantage because, as we know, this is being played in Germany. Oh my gosh. Stuff's dropping. Kylian Mbappe, the teenage mutant ninja turtle. He's not even a teenager no more, really and truly, is he? Essentially. But yeah, he's wearing his thing. So yeah, man. Spain versus Germany is due to be lit. Konate is sick. That's why Saliba's starting. Dead, man. How long they been running that? Dead. No, Konate is sick. And to be fair with you, I think it. Well, to be fair, who am I sitting on YouTube? But I think it should be Konate and Saliba. I mean, some of you lot will kickoff has happened. Some of you lot remember when we was doing the under-21s watch-alongs when Konate and Upamecano and all them were part of it. And Konate and Upamecano at Leipzig. And I've always said I don't think Konate is perfect, but I rate him a lot more than Upamecano. My ratings don't mean anything. I'm sitting on YouTube. He's playing for France, Golden Generation, all of that. He's playing for Bayern Munich as well. I just think he's booky, man. I think Konate's got issues. I think Saliba's got issues, but I don't see the hype with Konate. He's a good defender. He's a very good defender. Make no mistake. But is he the best French one? Really? Really? Like, even as much as I banter Chelsea, a fit Wesley Fofana, I don't know. Is he better than him? I'm not sure. Is Conde a better centre back than Upamecano? Griezmann to N'Golo Kante, wearing my favourite number 13. Thuram loses it. You lot cannot convince me Thuram is certified, man. Anyways, Griezmann has the ball. Rabiot, who's low-key had a good tournament as well. Theo Hernandez, who be a dream for me to see Arsenal sign him at left back. Kylian Mbappé, Mbappe, sporting the mask. Mbappe, twisting and turning. He's horrible to defend against, you know. Well, there's a couple of players that are horrible to defend against. You wouldn't want to defend against Jeremy Doku. The only thing that would save you is his decision making. Kylian Mbappe is a monster of a player. There's some good players out there today. Hopefully it's a good game. Big up American Gunner or Gooner. He's on Twitch this time, the CEO of the platform. Pick up yourselves, man. Hope you lot and everyone's doing well. As I said, happy new month to you lot. It's coming home in the dustbin. Come on, you Swiss and France. You got this today. Like, Ben, stop being sour. You know, if the Germans came from behind, if the Spanish came from behind like the English did yesterday, staring in and amongst, you know, defeat in the face, you know, death in terms of the tournament, showing extreme resilience, Jude Bellingham, etc. People be praising them. It's coming home. You heard it here first. Clip this up. It's coming home. England are winning this. Saka scoring in the final. Do I believe this? The more I say it, the more I start to believe it. Started off as a joke. Vertonghen, shout out to him, been part of the furniture. Survived a couple of the other generational Belgian players, you know, when they had Vermaelen, obviously his former teammate Alderweireld. There's obviously a couple of others. You never know, man. Do you know what? Funny enough, I don't know who, but I think an underdog's going to win this Euros the more I watch it, man. Conde. And I'd say this is the first time as a neutral. I mean, I would love for France to go out, give everyone a chance, but I want to see France really put in a performance today because I think they flattered to deceive in this tournament. I think the Belgium, all of different levels, but the English, the Belgians, the French, not really been anything amazing. When you actually look at it, if I'm completely honest, Croatia really disappointed. Obviously, they're out now, so they're not a thing. But Croatia really disappointed, in my opinion, where this is concerned. So, yeah, man. It's a long ball forward by the French. Thuram. Thought his shirt was being pulled, to be fair with him. Austria or the Swiss deserve to not be seen. You can't sleep on anyone at this point in the tournament. Like, if you think the game's been won before you put the ball in the back of the net, you're in for a rude awakening. The Swiss look very good, and make no mistake, on Saturday we will be doing a watch-along. They're going to stress out the English. They're going to cause problems for the English. 100%. Austria very well coached. I just think once you start, you need a good team in it, and it's a double-edged sword because individuals or individual brilliance can only get you so far. And I think, you know, you do need a team and an ethos and things. And I think any team that's played against England up until this point has been that, and we haven't got that. But I think for Austria, it's a thing where I think they'll be competitive across 90 minutes. But when you just need a bit of magic, make no mistake, they've obviously got ballers. I just don't think they've got enough when compared to the other big boys. But you never know. The fear of having nothing to lose could make something happen. Kevin De Bruyne, I'm sure that won't be in his highlights reel. No chance of his club teammate, Jeremy Doku, bringing that down, man. You reckon national games decreases players' confidence? Yes and no, I would say. But good question, Figures, man. Yes and no, because obviously I believe naturally you should have fear, you should have anxiety, you should have all of these kind of things. I'm opening this window far too open, people, and it's now cold. But as I was saying, I think I'm all right, people. If you're wondering why the sentence stopped, I think at times you should be scared. You should have all of these things, but then you need to use that to relish. You need to relish that. You need to use them things to relish whatever hurdles are above you in it, really. So, yeah. And obviously, you imagine playing at club level, you know, again, if we just relate it to England, you know, people are playing for Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City, all these things where one win, you're the best thing since sliced bread. When you lose, you're terrible. You have to magnify that by 100, obviously. And, you know, you look at the English press, it has to play on the players' confidence a tiny bit. But at the same time, you've got to probably get yourself in that headspace to know they're going to talk anyways, really and truly. And they're going to paint different narratives. And I do think McGann's come off his line, we've done very well there. I do think it's a double-edged sword because I don't think some people can be praised. Like, you know, if you don't necessarily play well across 90 minutes, but you get a winner, in Jude Bellingham's case, you know, people say you just scored and you did nothing else, even though this is decided by moments. And if you play well without doing anything decisive, they're going to get at you, man. Essentially, Deschamps don't care about aesthetics, he just cares about winning. Hey, you was criticizing him last stream. What's changed? Conde talked it clear. Been nothing really to scream and shout about in this opening 5 minutes. Jeremy Doku, him against Conde would be a good battle. Conde's been in great form in this tournament, in my opinion. Doku skips past Griezmann, finds Kevin De Bruyne. It's tapped first time to a Belgium centre half. Big up yourself, Jay, man. I hope you're doing well and safe. I'm good, man. It's always a pleasure to be here with you lot. Shout out Riley, part of the furniture. But yeah, the Austrian or the Swiss can't be slept on. Be interesting, man. It'll be interesting to see who actually wins this tournament. And I must admit, I'm just looking forward to the World Cup in 2026. I know if you live in America, Canada, or I think it's in Mexico as well, you're probably looking even more forward to that than me. But Brazil's winning it. I mean, Vertonghen, what is that? Gifted possession back to France. Let's hope for your sake France don't make it count. Griezmann and Mbappe, it's a horrible attempt at a 1-2. Jeremy Doku. Don't know why you did that, but okay, you've gifted it back to France. Marcus Thuram. This guy's dead, man. You can never convince me he's good, man. Goal kick. He's not good, man. He's not good. You're actually quite lucky in the French squad. You're not good, man. You're a good player, but you're not levels. England are the underdogs then, I suppose. But hey, Deschamps still stinks. Lucky has loads of talents to change a game. I hear that, but it can only get you so far. DJ, I got bread on France and Portugal and Mbappe. Please, after all the slander I've been dishing, show up. See how shameless football fans can be. I don't know, man, because it feels like France always, well, the last couple of Euros I've seen in my lifetime, it's like the French saved their best for the World Cup. They've kind of stunk out the place in the Euros. Kevin De Bruyne, that was a poor pass, and really France should have intercepted it. I mean, Belgium must have a chance. You know, they got super sub Trossard on the bench. First is starting. Shout out Oliver. Big up DG. If Arsenal could sign someone from Georgia other than, you know, I can't say that curse. You're talking about the Napoli lad. Who would you choose? What's the lad that's playing in France? There's the next one that's, to be fair, their goalie would be a decent backup. What's the lad that's playing in France, man? Like, he's got a crazy name as well, respectfully. Let me find out his actual name, man. Euro 2024. I don't think he would be the bee's knees, but I just like his technical level. What's his name? Let me find it because it's going to bug me if I don't. Where are you? Yeah, there you are. Only 23 as well. I'm sure he was linked with Arsenal and I did a video. He's probably been Georgia's best player, slyly, man. Yeah, that guy, man. I guess Onana watch. To be fair, you do want to see how Onana can hang with the big boys where you've got Rabiot, Tchouameni and Kante in the middle of the park. Do you know what, though? I don't think Onana of Belgium's been amazing in this tournament, but he's definitely been one of the better players. Upamecano to Rabiot. Rabiot, who's it wouldn't be a transfer window if he wasn't linked with Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United, or Spurs. Tchouameni to Conde to Griezmann. This guy's lit, man. Griezmann's gonna go down as one of the most underappreciated footballers of his time, man, because I don't think people give him his credit, man. If I'm honest with you, I can't say he's not pleasing to watch because he's lovely technical level, but he's not the most amazing sort of player to watch. I don't think he's going to get the appreciation he deserves, man, of a World Cup winner. Hernandez, Kante, Upamecano's blushes were saved. He signed for Ajax permanently. Yeah, well, that's a myth then. But yeah, either the goalie or, yeah, you lot said his name. Him, but I'm not really convinced with the lad I said. If I had to pick. Valiant effort by the Georgians. Rabiot to Griezmann. Ring it, hit it. I don't know. I think Rabiot has a right to be disappointed in Griezmann there, if I'm honest, and Kylian Mbappe. There were better options. It looked like Griezmann didn't know whether to stick or twist, tried to pass it or shoot. And sometimes when you try to do both, you do none. The ship on Rabiot has sailed now. Real ones remember when United were in contract talks for Rabiot until it broke down and went to sign Casemiro instead. I'm actually fearful. I actually think Chelsea and Man United, maybe not next season, but I think they're getting their house in order. I think Man United, again, too many chefs can spoil a dish, but you know, they got Dan Ashworth from Newcastle now. They've got a couple of different scouts, a couple of other Dutch coaches. I think United are kind of patterning up, but then, you know, they need to bring in reinforcements and they need to probably sell players. And they need to stop doing the superstar thing. Of course, you know, if you can find a player that has had a long history of playing at an elite level or a great player, you know, the Casemiros, the Varans, Cristiano Ronaldo, Paul Pogba, you're not going to say no to these guys. But something at United has to give. They need a philosophy. You've had all them names I've said. You've had Louis van Gaal, Jose, the list goes on, and not really done anything of significance. Saliba up against Lukaku. That's ours, ref. Hey, Lukaku, it's not your fault. You saw what happened to Haaland. That's big William Saliba there. It's cool, man. He's nastier than he looks. To be fair, he did have a hold of his shirt. It's a good test for Saliba up against Lukaku. Whether people say Lukaku has to be a nightmare to defend against as well. Tchouaméni, Rabiot. Rabiot wanted too many touches, but when you got Kante and Tchouaméni next to you, can get away with it. Theo Hernandez. Mbappe dropping very deep. The sea of red shirts, but I mean, if anyone can dance past them, it would be the left inside forward of France and the captain actually in Mbappe. Tchouaméni to Kante, N'Golo. Oh, bit of a blind pass from Kante, but Mbappe will spare his blushes. Tchouaméni attempts to switch play here. Has he found Conde? Yes, he has. It's a good switch of play here. Conde to Griezmann. What can Griezmann do? Tries to help it into the path of Conde. This could be promising. To be fair, I feel sorry for Conde. He's tried to find someone. Where are the French players? Upamecano saves Kante again. Kante's got to get them poor touches out, if I'm honest with you. Rather, Tonga's still playing for Belgium, respect his professionalism. Same, but if he's still about in this role he is, it could be on one hand, because obviously he's a quality player, he's had a fantastic career. But on the other hand, where's the path? Where's the other centre-halves? It's crazy. That's peaking us because won't the World Cup be at the motioning? What does that mean, my guy? What's the best World Cup goal you've ever seen? Mine's Pavard's goal. Oh, you're putting me on the spot there, man. Mbappe's defo scored something good. Mesut Ozil's defo done something. It might not be the most glamorous, but I'm sure Iniesta in the World Cup final, that will have me. Van Persie's acrobatic header. Joe Cole against Sweden. Ronaldinho's free kick against David Seaman for Brazil. Good. I'd have to really think about that. What else is there? Good question. There's definitely been more. Richarlison has scored a great goal. You are right. Pavard's goal's up there. I mean, iconic, really and truly. I feel like there's a lot more, though. Maybe not the best, but I'm sure when Germany won the World Cup, I'm sure Mesut Ozil scored a couple of vital goals as well, man. Let's go over to this right-hand side with Conde again. Conde of Barcelona. Griezmann, once of Barcelona, attempts to cross it into the back post. It was a good idea, probably just too much on that. In fact, it's actually a corner. Ronaldo's free kick against Spain left me speechless. James Rodriguez, against Uruguay. That's up there. I'd have to go and watch a lot of these goals again. I feel like 2006 had more bangers than I'm giving it credit for. I feel like there was low-key some great goals in the 2020 game, 2010 World Cup. I feel like 2014 as well. I feel like I'm even forgetting a couple from the last two World Cups, if I'm honest with you. Feels like we've seen a lot of World Cups in recent years, man, but maybe that's because of COVID. If you haven't subscribed or smashed the like button, make sure you're doing such. 2026, you people will finally see what a tournament looks like in a proper soccer nation. Get a load of this guy. Big up the Americans, but come on, man. Pay homage. This is a European game. Oh, France could be in here. Oh, Mbappe. Surely that's a corner. That's crazy, ref. Ref's on nonsense. And he's booked Tchouaméni. I must admit, this ref's match fixing. I was just about to say Mbappe's shot was terrible, but he's been saved by it coming off a Belgium shirt. Bro, that's clearly... The ref is right there. How have you not seen that's come off Onana? You're bugging, ref. You are bugging. And that's really peed off the Champs. Oh, they're going to have to just get on with it. Tchouaméni's been booked. Bergkamp versus Argentina 98. Owen versus Argentina. I meant, won't the next time be messed up for us to watch the next World Cup because it's in America? Oh, yeah. It will. They're going to have to find some times that are friendly to us, probably. But to be fair, the Americans are due being able to, and people around the world being able to watch football at a decent time, man. France have made a mess of this. Carrasco, I thought Carrasco was fouled there. Ooh, to be fair, I don't know how he didn't get that. And that could have been a promising break for Belgium. Mbappe to Kante. Kante. Thuram. Lovely flick by Thuram. Okay, finally living up to your last name. We do things like that. Griezmann's on this right-hand side. Not enough French supporting acts for this move to really move at any pace. Tchouaméni. Conde. Griezmann. But And Broncos for Holland. Boy, we've got some serious shouts. Who's the ref in this game? I wish I knew it. Man said, man called the beautiful game soccer DG block him. He's Joseph trolling, man. He's trying to get reactions, man. That French Olympic team, it's like them getting trained by their Uncle Thierry. The videos just look like them vibing, cliche coaching also. So the French Olympic team is not doing anything serious. Yeah, the South African lads opening goal. No disrespect to Europe, but your stadiums look like training facilities next to what they're going to be playing in 2026. That's great. Just make sure the football's lit from America. You lot the host. You lot big up America, but you lot been having great stadiums and things money can buy, but you can't engineer this. You're going against centuries and years of, in a lot of countries, football being the game that captures fans. Big up America, but again, football's not the greatest sport. Obviously, there's probably a lot of immigrants that football is their thing. But when I think of America, I think of basketball, I think of baseball, think of NBA before football. And to be fair, America should be a lot better at football than they are. And I think a lot of that is because, you know, from the Americans I speak to, it doesn't appear that football, some of it is circumstantial, but it doesn't appear that football's a poor man's and poor woman's sport. It's not really like that in Europe because not anymore, because you actually need money to sign up for soccer schools and all of that stuff. But you can go and play in a cage. Don't really get that in America. The barrier for entry is high. There you have it. Oh, France unlucky there. America's been mediocre so far in the Copa America. I can't really comment, man, because Jamaica embarrassed me. 3 games, 3 L's. We go again, man. Pardon me. Shrewsbury Hall to Chelsea. Thoughts, DG. Next, Mickey Mouse. I think Chelsea got too many players, let alone too many midfielders. But I think Shrewsbury Hall's cool. Like I could see why he's ultimately now signed for Chelsea. He was interested in Brighton and Arsenal allegedly. He's got a good engine, good technical level. Obviously, he knows the manager, so it makes sense. Competent squad player. I don't think he's terrible. I don't think he's going to pull up any trees. But I think it's a shrewd addition for Chelsea, if that makes sense. Hernandez down this left-hand side. Kylian Mbappe. Back to Hernandez. Tchouameni, you know, leaves it for Saliba. William Saliba. Show them. Skips out Upamecano, finds Conde. Upamecano. 18 minutes in, still nothing of significance at this moment in time. Who wouldn't want Dewey? I might be the minority, but by the way, you and set other man chat about 1990 to 2007, seeing them in past vids, they're average at best. 2010 to 2024, they've been better footballers and players. Boy, fair enough. Boy, you just had to be there, man. You just had to be there. Don't get twisted. There's many things I like in the modern day. Football has advanced and things like that. But you can shine in a decent system nowadays, man. Them kind of days there, yeah, you had the occasional 3 at the back and 4-3-3 came into it, but everyone was playing 4-4-2. You needed some individual brilliance. Stats were relevant, but they weren't the only thing. And footballers are robots now. It's just bare repeated patterns of play. There's not really that healthy randomness. And the way you said from 1990 to 2007, that's had Ronaldo, the Brazilian, prime Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, you know, towards the latter stages of it. Well, in fact, you said 2007, so Messi can kind of, you know, he peaked beyond that, but you get the point. Figo, Zidane, Ronaldinho, if I haven't said that, Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, Paul Scholes. Are you mad? Videos didn't do it justice. You had to be there. A lot of them guys, well, to be fair, if you're a baller now, I think you'd survive then relatively. But a lot of them guys there would be running rings around these players now. Running absolute rings, especially the attackers, running rings. You're moving mad, Toby, man. You got to be about 19, respectfully. Our children's children will say the same when we talk about peak Barca, United, Wenger ball, Ronaldo. Man said Ben Arthur. I was with you until I saw Ben Arthur. Make no mistake, Ben Arthur was lit. But what's he's talking about Ben Arthur? What's Ben Arthur doing in that sentence, my guy? I don't know what Ben Arthur's doing there. R9 isn't wrong when he said that games are boring because these managers are taking out the individual brilliance and flair, and it's become too systematic. I think it's just these things happen. It's the natural progression of the game, really. Like I said in the live stream before, it's like the managers nowadays, it's like they've got a pad on the sideline and they're governing things. And I don't want to be disingenuous, because you could argue players are smarter now because you have to retain so much information. But could it be because players are actually dumber and they lack, the ability to they're not as competent as those back in the day. So they're being thrown all this information because managers can't leave anything to chance. I do like the advancements of the game. I mean, individuals will always make the difference, but you are going to live or die by your system. And it's almost leveled the playing field, because individual brilliance can only take you so far in today's day and age. In the modern day, the level of defending is the worst. I think it's got better in terms of pressing from the front, but in terms of goalies and actual fullbacks and centre halves, defending in this era is poor, because it's the last thing on people's minds. Don't get it twisted. There are some transferables. No matter how much the game advances, you still need to be able to defend and keep balls out the back of your net. But we're talking about goalies. Can you pass the ball? Centre backs, can you pass the ball? There's fullbacks that can't defend, but because they can hit diags and things like that, they're lit. Jeremy Doku tries to skip past Conde. That's a myth. There's default systems at 30 yards. Do you know the level of defenders that you had to play against? And them days there, like even people that are older than me, like watching people like George Best getting kicked, them days there was no protection. You really had to have bollocks to be doing skills and all of these things. Now you got VAR, you're getting saved. Do you know how much kicks? Any Man United fan would tell you how much murder that team used to get away with. Do you know how many kicks these decent players had to have and be able to withstand? Football's always had systems, man. Nothing changes under the sun. It's just like, obviously, when I say a few years ago, like I'd say when Conte was in the Premier League / when Arsene Wenger switched to a back three and we won the FA Cup, them kind of days, it felt like there was a bit of a wave of Jeremy Doku's shot hasn't come to anything. It felt like it was the wave was free at the back. That's been there before. Obviously, with technology and modernization and things are going to change. And I do like that, in that it's not, individuals can't just get you anywhere. You need a system, but at the same time, it's extremes, isn't it? But yeah, you can't diss the people who paved the way. Griezmann's been booked as well for France, man. Defending this era is not great anymore, but back in the day, we're told to just defend. Nowadays, you pass, cross, etc. And I do feel sorry for modern day footballers though, because you have to do everything and you're still criticized. Like, you could be a striker, you could get 20 goals. People say you're heat map, you're not dropping deep into midfield, they're onto you. You could be someone that can do all of those facets of being a striker, but you're not necessarily a proven pedigree striker. People get onto you. I'm not sure what Magan's doing there, but I think he's seen that very late. And what was it? Not the best of free kicks, could have harmed France. They've dealt with it between Griezmann, Conde, and Kylian Mbappe. Griezmann, not really too many forward options. I mean, that's why we don't see Griezmann use his right foot too much. That's rare. If that's not a free kick, Rabiot won the ball. Lifting players for fun, bro. Have you seen, like, go and watch half of those plays. Have you seen the kicks that these lot had to get? And to be fair, like what you said, 1990 to 07. I think Ronaldo would thrive. Brazilian Ronaldo would thrive. Henry would run rings around it. Bergkamp would be lovely in today's day and age. Patrick Vieira, no one's talking to him. Paul Scholes, no one. I'm thinking of Premier League guys. Paul Scholes, no one's talking to him. Who else is there? Ronaldinho would be lit. And Figo would be lit. So yeah. Even the Nike adverts were better, man. But they're gone, man. I've never understood the whole pressing thing about Man United Part 2. You know his age, about Part 2 Ronaldo. You know his age and his player profile when you bought him. Good decision or not? You're talking about when he returned to Man United. But Man United never had a plan. They never had a plan. You bought Cristiano Ronaldo. And again, like you said, you know he can't chase lost causes. The system is dead. You know he's a big personality as well. He's destined to fail, man. Another excited ref. Boy, don't want to sound like one of them guys, but I hear the nostalgia defense of Prime Barclays. Football did feel a lot more like football back then. Super League, who, what, where. Now it's different. Well, to be fair, like I actually wish that VAR was around them days because Man United, the crimes they've committed against any other Premier League team wouldn't be there. Ferguson and his bullies used to get away with murder against my football club. Look at Arsenal. You know, look at us. Forget Highbury because we had thugs then. When we moved to the Emirates and I don't want to say it, but a lot softer players in all aspects. You had these connotations of Arsenal being a soft touch. You see, and it's still there in this day and age to a degree with the decisions that don't go away. Look at all the kicks that our players had to withstand. Look what happened to Ramsey and Eduardo and several others. And a lot of that came because of this whole rhetoric around being soft. Jeremy Doku. Oh, Openda has sent Upamecano for a bagel there. Oh, it's an important block by Hernandez. And Rabiot will attempt to clear up. France going to sleep a couple of times at this moment in time. They need to wake up. I don't know if it hit Hernandez's arm and if there's going to be a check. Great drop of the shoulder by Openda. Conde has inadvertently put it into the path of another Belgium lad. Nah, that didn't hit his arm. It did look like it in real time, but nah, it didn't hit his arm. Killing Mbappe. Hernandez. Mbappe has had to drop very deep. So right now, Belgium are laughing with that. That right side is getting worked. Nido Nana at Arsenal. He's the modern day Vieira. What Vieira is this? It can't be Patrick. It can't be Patrick. That must be Rolando Vieira or something. That can't be that. It could never be Patrick. Dad cannot talk to Patrick Vieira. You're just saying that because they're both 6 foot plus and black, mate. Like, that's what we did say, but no way. In what world? I do think Onana is a lot technically more gifted than people give him credit for, but no. Kevin De Bruyne, we need to see something, today. Ronaldo to Man United Part 2 was a money thing, sold enough shirts, the marking behind it, the law of the Premier League. I hear it. Stop that, might have to issue a timeout for 30 seconds. Bro, Vieira, you didn't watch Vieira. You didn't watch Big Patrick Vieira. Fabian Ruiz would be peak. I mean, who wouldn't love Fabian Ruiz at the Emirates? Belgium are down this right-hand side here. Can they make it count? Not if you're going to pass the ball like that, Carrasco. Carrasco's got in behind and threatened France on occasion. That time wasn't anything to scream and shout about. Lovely balance by Griezmann. Griezmann has found Hernandez. But I'm going to say it again. When France have broke, there's not too many supporting acts. Mbappe has to get his head up. Finds Griezmann. Thuram, you're not the truth, man. Patrick Vieira isn't given the respect he deserves, man. He's not given the respect. People just have him down. And I actually think Roy Keane with a football as well. I don't think people give Patrick Vieira the props he deserves for his technical level as well. Kylian Mbappe has lost his footing. That was horrible. The mask might be too tight and the Belgians look to break. I don't blame Carrasco. I don't know why Lukaku's getting vexed. Who's passing to you when you're running out wide to right wing and that? Who wants to give Lukaku the ball in the best of days unless he's 5 yards away from goal? Lukaku, not that guy, pal. Onana. I do think it's interesting going with Openda as well, though. I do think it's very interesting. Openda's probably deserved a couple more minutes than he's been given, really, for Belgium so far. You lot are in top form as usual, but where the football's concerned, it's not been dead, but nothing of significance. If anything, I think the French started a bit better. They had a lot of possession, and I won't go as far as to say Belgium have had clear-cut chances, and I think describing it as threatening is a serious exaggeration, people. But if anything, the Belgians have been slightly more threatening. Vieira had it all, man. Lukaku is one of the most overrated strikers. I hear that, but nobody seems to rate him, so you can't. And I do think Lukaku is disrespected. I think what shagged Lukaku, going back to the nostalgia thing, Lukaku is probably the era that you're born in. Because if you was about in 4-4-2 days before this false nine stuff and strikers have to drop into midfield, you'd be held in higher regards, man. I think Lukaku's won a lot of things. He has scored a lot of goals. There's a reason he's played for top clubs and plays for his country. I don't think he's bad. He's definitely not pleasing on the eye. He definitely thinks he's better than he is based on how he speaks. People like the idea of Onana. I'm not against it, but man, oh man, he needs a lot of coaching. Well, I mean, he's 22. I wouldn't be against Onana, but I would need something else. Like if you bring Onana in, so we can have Declan Rice, Onana, another 8, and whatever existing options. I'm with that. Kevin De Bruyne, spam balls over the top. You man call this creativity? Crazy. No, Lukaku was peak at Everton and early United. Nothing complicated about it, but he does a good job at a striker. I just think Lukaku's career, it's like you play for a club, you have a good time, and then you kind of open your mouth, talk too much, and it seems like you kind of leave whatever club you was at with bad blood, if that makes sense. Rabiot. And I have to big up Lukaku because whatever people say about Lukaku, you got to remember this guy's been around since 16, 17, 18. I don't want to refer to him as a wonder kid, but he's cut out a career of such. Not sure what Mr. Hernandez was doing there. Was that a cross or a shot? I don't blame a left back for doing that. If it was a shot, you never know when you'll be in that territory again. I don't know. Only him and God know what he tried there. But it didn't come off. Lukaku is another one that fell into the Morata section. Fans can't look past the memes. I don't know who's a better striker, Lukaku, Morata, if I'm completely honest with you. Because if would you really want to bet your life on Lukaku scoring? Boy, it can repeat. Lukaku's obviously a better goal scorer, but I think I would more want Morata for how I would want to play football. It sounds dumb, but it's like you could do everything. And he does score some vital goals, and he clearly is a good striker, but it's like you're quite good at everything other than the primary job in essence of a forward. Patty was a midfield general with the skills of a number 10. Big Pat is my favorite captain. Well, wait, I lie. It's Mr. Adams, but Patty was world class above Steve Lampard and those guys. I must admit, I could listen. Scholes is the guy, but we're more so Lampard and Gerrard with Vieira, yeah. And you could say Scholes, but more so Gerrard, Lampard, and Vieira. People move like Gerrard and Lampard are up here, Vieira's down there. It's not. They're in the same bracket, man. It's not just memes, though. Lukaku has an extensive low light reel. I mean, if you want someone to score goals, then yeah, but I don't think I don't think Lukaku's the guy in the modern day, man. I don't think you don't, and again, I'm a hypocrite, but like you don't bring really any. If you're not scoring, you don't really what really does he bring to the table? Not that much. And that's where I think, if he was about in the early 2000s, he'd probably be held in high regards. Prime Giroud or prime Lukaku. You know what? It probably is prime Lukaku, but I'd rather Giroud, man. Giroud's a big man that he's almost like, that's what kind of, oh, good header. Thuram's, I think you're being harsh on yourself. I think you did all you can. I'd rather Giroud, man, because for a big man, his general plays a lot better. His touch is a lot better. His link-up plays a lot better. In my opinion, his football IQ, his speed of thought, a lot of that stuff is a lot better. Giroud can do things in 2-on-1 touch. Lukaku needs a lot. I think Lukaku plays the same way he was probably playing in Belgium as a little kid, just bullying everybody. Question is Jude Bellingham world class? Not in my opinion. But everyone judges this world class thing very different. I don't think I'm a big fan of Jude Bellingham. I always defend him on the platform, but world class, not yet. And I think with Bellingham, it's like I always say the same rope you climb up on in life is the same one you'll get hung with, because everybody loved you. You was the guy. Now it seems like you can do no right. And I'm not talking about fair critique, but I just feel one thing I don't like in today's day and age is hyper opinions. And, with social media, people are not watching football to comment on what they see, and constructive criticism. It's just hyper opinions and agenda driven. World class is banged around. I've heard Phil Foden world class, Bellingham world class, Saka world class. I love them all. Don't get it twisted. And you may be, in comparison to what's on the market in today's day and age, I'm not against that. But for me, Deluded, Gooner, I don't think any of them are world class. And it's not just them. There's a bunch of them. Jeremy Doku. Ooh. Griezmann, you got to be careful, man. You see Doku, if he could just improve his decision-making in the final third, he's gone. For me personally, world class includes some longevity. I think you do need that. I do think Messi and Ronaldo have been bad news for the generation of people that are going to be world class, because them lot have set some unrealistic stats and things, and people just expect everybody to do that. DG shots world class. Yeah, run that agenda. Who the hell is world class? Got to move on from this old dusty terms. Gerrard for me is overrated. Scholes, Lampard, Vieira can be in the conference. Gerrard not overrated, man. That's harsh. Gerrard was a baller, man. One thing, what I can say about Onana is he's extremely believing himself. I think you mean he extremely believes in himself, and his mentality is top class. He tries to be the best version of himself, as we should all in life, man. Morata's story should be a film. Giroud's story should be a film, bro. Like, whoever's got the rights to Giroud's story is living. You know, it's well known. He dealt with adversity, you know, to become a footballer, let alone do what he's done. He's won the league in France. Obviously, he won trophies at Chelsea, won trophies at Arsenal, won the World Cup with France. If I didn't make that, Puskas Awards. Giroud's got some very sexy finishes. Like, Giroud's got a serious and even some of Giroud's assists as well. Like, Arsenal's biggest crime is we tried to make Giroud the Van Persie replacement. Lukaku has great goal numbers. His bad rep just has him disrespected and not rated correctly. I've answered that. What else have we got? Lukaku got silly numbers. His bad rep has him not. Oh, already read that. My bad. Yeah, I'll go in with Giroud over Lukaku. Lukaku needs a manager that understands him. Moyes and Conte did. I hear that, but like, how far does that really go, man? You are right, but you could say that with every player, and you're not wrong. But Devil's Advocate, every player needs that, really. But I know what you mean, especially Conte. I mean, you never know. You get on the phone to your agent. If Osimhen leaves, might be able to get that move. Tchouameni's stinking up the place at the moment. If I'm honest with you, he needs to do a bit better. Saliba, Tchouameni, Rabiot. It feels like something's missing from the French. Rabiot, Mbappe, terrible flick by Mbappe, in all honesty. Big up DG. This French side has a crazy squad on paper. Plus, they got world-class players that can make the difference. Like I said, I support England, but V for France. Is the Arsenal versus Norwich goal the best team goal you've ever seen? Put me on the spot, but I don't think so. I don't think so. It's up there, but I don't think so. It's difficult to go through the memory banks. It's up there, but I wouldn't say it is. I can't lie, Man United have scored some of the best counter-attacking goals I've seen as well. And then look, speaking of counter-attacks, if it wasn't for Saliba, the Belgians would have broken numbers there. Griezmann, Conde. First half's been nothing to scream and shout about. Conde's found Kante. N'Golo Kante, great player, not really known for his decision-making in the final third. Does well to regain possession, though. Griezmann, first time into Kylian Mbappe, tries to square it. It's never a handball. Ref, don't be an idiot. That didn't hit his hand. Doesn't matter because, well, Kevin De Bruyne is giving it away. And the pressure is just turning up for the Belgians as they're struggling to clear their lines and get out their home half. All of them are camped on the edge of their area, folks. Some mad ones at Prime Barca days. Giroud over Lukaku any day. Giroud is such a silky player. DG, in your honest opinion, how much longer until you start throwing around the world-class terms for players like Saka and Foden? I can't give you an answer, if I'm completely honest. But there will be a time. And I'm a hypocrite. Because there's a certain young player playing in this tournament that has, hasn't really played in the game for that long, that I would say is world-class. In fact, there's two in a certain squad. So I'm a hypocrite. Who would I say is a world-class player in the Prem? I mean, you know what? If you think Saka is a world-class player, I can't really tell you anything because he's arguably top 5 in his position. He has got some element of reliability and longevity. In today's market, I'd say Kevin De Bruyne. I'd say Mohamed Salah, whether he's pleasing to watch on the eye or not. I would say, Van Dijk for what he's done at centre half. Say Allison in goal. Obviously, the top keepers by default. Let's not focus on goalies. I think Rodri and what's around in today's day and age. Trying to think. So yeah, man. Oh, could the French be in here? Conde tries to cut it back across. Oh, decision making has to be better. Jeremy Doku just lost his footing. Nothing to talk about in this game. Cagey game between these two teams. Is Haaland world class? I can't say no because of the goal scoring and all of that, but you could say him, to be fair. But I don't honestly believe that. I think that's banged around too much, man. DG, I ain't liking the way Arsenal are quiet this window. The rest of the team's already signing guys. I'm not saying Arsenal are ever going to do everything they need to, but trust the process, man. It's July. It's going to ramp up. Cole Palmer. Fair enough. But even that, like, I think that's in today's day and age, man. Another thing I'm not proud of in today's day and age is like creativity. Like this, for me, creativity is Mesut Ozil, is Cesc Fabregas, it's when Paul Scholes was pinging some passes together. It's, you know, Xavi, Iniesta, insert any, you know, that kind of, even Ronaldinho, serious creativity. Creativity in today's day and age, and I'm not knocking it because it takes a lot of technical ability, but it's, I practice hitting the same ball in the same position 1,000,000 times, and I'm going to do it 100 times in a game. If I do it 100 times in a game, you know, it's going to work once, which I respect it. I just don't think it is that. That's not what I have as creativity. I think creativity needs a spark of healthy randomness. Like it can't be replicated. It can only be facilitated. Like when Wenger had his teams and they were, whether it's the hybrid, whether it was hybrid or at the Emirates, you know, the Wenger ball stuff, you can only facilitate that. You can obviously coach patterns of play, but that sort of stuff is what football should be. Thuram done terrible there. Tchouameni can't quite get it, but it falls to Saliba. France have had Belgium in their own half towards the end of this first half. Best striker, super sub, DG, Fulkirk or Weghorst? I'd rather Fulkirk, really. Hey, DG, quick question. Would you sell Saliba to Real Madrid in 2 years for 100 mil? You can't turn down 100 mil, can you? Mavericks are a dying breed, says Maverick. There you have it. Actually, quite happy with the silence from Arsenal regarding transfers. Look how people are nervous and rattled. The only reason I'm not is because, you know, we're rambling around and struggling to kind of find content and whatnot. That's the only thing that I'm struggling with. I feel Saka is already world class in my opinion. Not a stage he hasn't performed on. Prem, he's conquered. Champions League debut season was class. I mean, he did score against Bayern. Performed in Europe beforehand. International shining as well. To be fair, he has done that. But I just genuinely don't believe. I am more warm into it, but I don't believe. And I think I did a video about it, so I am a hypocrite. But I don't believe. And it's not a knock. I think Saka is a top individual. But I just don't believe you're world class. I don't think Arsenal have a world class player in their squad, like many. But if they're, you know, the strongest claims, or if I had to, like, you put a gun to my head and I had to say people are world class, Bukayo Saka, I might sound like a hypocrite. I don't really care what people tell me. Martin Odegaard, William Saliba, and probably Declan Rice, like, because you lot sit amongst some of the best top 5, top 10 in your position relative. That's surely a foul from Kevin De Bruyne. But the thing is with Saka, a lot of people, and it's not to diss Saka because Arsenal fans, young and old, he is one of the best. But a lot of younger fans, Saka is probably the best pound for pound player, one of the best pound for pound players they've ever seen have the Arsenal shirt. So there's not really anything to go off. I think one thing that goes against Saka is, and again, this whole aesthetically pleasing BS. Like I look at Saka, or I know Saka's idols, Ronaldo and that, but I think you need to look to someone like Mo Salah. Like Mo Salah's done everything in the game, done everything, but people still say, oh, you're not good on the ball, you're not sexy. That's how I think Saka is always going to be viewed. There's too many, there's so many more entertaining footballers to watch in the Premier League than Bukayo Saka. But where does entertainment get you? Same goes for Salah. There's players that can do a million skills, but what are you doing with it? Let alone, are you doing it consistently? It's a bit like Haaland. There's a million strikers that their general play is a lot more sexier. Haaland definitely is not pleasing on the eye. But how many of them can do what he's doing? Ball into the box by the French, dead. But even Saliba, like, you know, Saliba's en route, Saka's en route, Foden is en route. For me, you got to do it in the Prem consistently. You got to do it in the champs. I'm not even saying necessarily win it, but trophies would help. You know, you've got to make the decisive moments. You've got to have that. Oh, Tchouameni should have bagged. You've got to be, for me, you've got to be like a decisive man for club and country. Saliba's now making those inroads. He started the 3-4 games up until this point. Obviously, there's systems out there that are going to get the best or worst out of certain players, and that has to be adjusted. But there should be some sort of consistency in how you play. That can't be said for Foden. That's only just started with Saliba. You can say that for Saka because he's done it for England. It all depends, man. I don't like the world-class shouts anyways, man, because like my actual bias is, obviously, if we exclude Messi and Ronaldo, who are, if you're not in conversations with Ronaldinho, R9, people of that ilk, then you're not world-class to me anyways, or relative defenders. If we can't, it's the end of the first half. If you can't match up in that, if we're not having conversations around that, then for me, you're not world-class. But I understand if we're looking at the metrics, that's what's available on the market today, and someone's, you know, one of the best in their position, they've been doing all the business, then I can't say no. I think Mbappe is world class. I said Mbappe was world class at 17. I think, you know what, F it, man. No one can tell me nothing. I think Pedri and Yalma are world class. So I'm a hypocrite. Football's hypocritical. It's mad hypocritical. I think they are. I just know it when I see it. For me, anyways, it's like you just have that thing. I can't explain it. There's something there. Haaland and Mbappe are head and shoulders above everyone, though. Coming off the Messi, Ronaldo is tough, but their stats and mid trophies don't lie. They're the standard of this era of attack, including Kane. Vinicius is getting in that convo. I think for Vinicius, you've done it for Real Madrid. You don't look the same player for Brazil. I think Neymar was well. Obviously, a lot of people didn't like Neymar, man. Is Bruno Fernandes? Not for me. Saka is dying on me, not going to lie. We know he can skip past players, but doesn't decide to. Cancel the Ballon d'Or. Ballon d'Or is just agendas and a popularity contest. I don't want to get into it, but I don't really believe it with Messi, but I genuinely think where Messi and Ronaldo are concerned, there might have been times where across a year, there must have been 1 or 2 years they probably shouldn't have got it. But you know, every one that Messi gets, there's one less for Ronaldo and vice versa. Mbappe is world class, bro. Mbappe is world class. I can't lie to you. I've seen him get PSG to a Champions League. Yeah, he didn't win it. I've seen you do it. I've seen you silence the Nou Camp when Messi was there. I've seen you do it as a little boy for Monaco. I've seen you for the last 2 World Cups, you know, when they won it. And obviously, Argentina, Mbappe was lit. The only thing that's going to kill Kylian Mbappe is I think PSG invented a monster. You know, you took a good kid, you spoiled him, you know, you made him bigger than the club with the greatest of respect to PSG. The humility is gone. Failure is a part of football. What legendary player hasn't failed? I'm sorry, but I can't tell. Everyone's allowed opinions, but I can't tell me Mbappe is not world class. For me, anyways. He might not be you know, I know there's agendas. Mbappe is world class, man. He's up there. Spain are the only team that have convinced me. I can't lie. A bit harsh on the Germans. Saka needs to become a villain. The trophy talk around Saka that people won't want to use as the main focus on whether he's world class or not will change for the better soon. The trophies are coming and then it'll be undeniable. I mean, I think in football, one thing we shouldn't do, or I think, like, we shouldn't try to force our opinions down each other's necks. And at the same time, I'm biased because there might be one player that I don't think is world class. I might say, oh, they ain't won the Prem, they ain't won the champs. And then there might be a player I like. I might be like, you know what? It's a team game. So it's a hypocritical debate in its sense. And everyone's looking through different lenses, man. These two teams are moving like England. Boy. And going back to what somebody said about, I think it was social, going back to what he said about Arsenal being quiet in the market. I like it as well. I always say, I will comment day in, day out, week in, week out, but I reserve judgment as a whole until obviously the deadline comes. And again, I'm not saying it should be, you know, to feel any confidence, but Arsenal have kind of kept leaks kind of shut, really and truly. Like, what was the last transfer that was kind of well known that Arsenal trying to do? There's obviously more. I would say Declan Rice. From what I can remember, the Timber thing kind of advanced very quickly. David Raya come out of nowhere and advance quickly. I'm so sure Fabio Vieira. Even that, I don't even know his name. I can't remember his name, but we signed the under 18 goalie. Like no one had winded that. And then he said he had a trial and all these things. So yeah, man. Good debates, people. Rodrigo should be mentioned, top tier player. Rodrigo's lit. Vinny's better than Mbappe, Haaland, and Salah. He's definitely, I'd rather watch Vinicius with a football than them three, but is he clear of them? I think he's in the convo. Vinicius is lit, man. Mbappe is world class, but he ain't better than Vinny. Haven't seen Vinny do it on the international stage in the same way Mbappe has. Of course, you can sit there and say, "Oh, France, they got all this talent," but when have they? When has Mbappe hid behind the other talent at France? When they had Griezmann was doing his thing, Mbappe was doing his thing, Dembele was doing his thing, Paul Pogba was doing his thing. At no point did Mbappe take a backward step, and just other people had to do it. Mbappe went gunshot for gunshot with Lionel Messi in the last World Cup. Obviously, it's Messi. You got to pay homage. Messi done Messi things. Ballon d'Or still matters to the players, and I suppose. I mean, if you're a player, of course, you probably, when you get away of dreaming of Premier League titles or just league titles and Champions Leagues, of course, if you're Vinicius, if you're Mbappe, obviously Saka's not in their realm, but if you're Saka, if you're any decent attacking player, of course you have ambitions to be nominated for such people. But I just think it's flawed. I think I don't think people vote with non-biases for that. And of course, the game's always geared towards attackers. There's obviously been quality defenders and whatnot, but people pay to watch attackers, essentially, really, But I don't think defenders get enough credit. Bernardo Silva, I think he's a quality player. I think he's so underappreciated, but I wouldn't throw him there. Sesko was the last known one and Chelsea jumped in. But even that, when you look beneath it, yeah, you are right. But when you look beneath the hood, it seemed like them reports are wide of the market. Just like it come out, all these journalists, not Ornstein, but all of them were saying, yeah, they've spoken to Sesko, and it's happening. These same journalists follow David Ornstein. When David Ornstein just kept quiet, released things in that it was wide of the mark where Chelsea and Arsenal were concerned. They held some sort of talks throughout the year, but nobody placed any bids because they did not have 100% assurance that once they activate this release clause, Sesko's on it. They had wind, even David Ornstein, before he officially confirmed that the Sesko thing was happening, he was talking on some podcast and he was like, the biggest problem Arsenal feel they have is not necessarily competing with Chelsea for his signature. He's more likely to sign a release clause. To be fair, there was a year where I think Ribery, Lewandowski, there's definitely been a couple others could have won Ballon d'Or. I think the last person I've ever thought across a year was better than, truly in my heart, was better than Messi and Ronaldo was Mr. Kaka. They said anyone who said Messi wasn't all of that because he hadn't won a World Cup, damn liar. But that's why I'm happy Messi won it, because it does shut up some of those redundant comments. But that just shows you, if someone like Lionel Messi, people can still deny your greatness, what chance do mere players have? And again, it's difficult because the goalposts are always moving. You could score 20 goals. People could say, why ain't you got 30 goals? You get 30 goals. But you got 5 assists. The goalposts are always moving. Pep Guardiola, you can't win Champions League at another club other than Barcelona. He goes and does it. You're just a checkbook manager, which I do think, I think it's right and wrong. Obviously he had some talent, but he bossed a lot of those players at Barcelona, and Ronaldo, I mean, not Ronaldo, Pep Guardiola's improved a lot of guys. But at the same time, I do think Pep Guardiola's a checkbook manager. And I don't mean that as a disrespect. It's like he's a Michelin star chef that works at one of the best restaurants in the world. And to do his thing, he needs the best ingredients. And they might cost thousands of pounds. So you can't go Asda and Aldi and bring him stuff. And I also feel when it gets into managers, I think people fail to understand managers should be like, I'm a bit too poetic with it. And I definitely feel there's question marks. I feel Sir Alex Ferguson should have achieved a lot more into Champions League. I think Wenger should have won a lot more Premier League trophies and he should have won the champs. But when you look at what these guys are about individually and like their experiences that make them view football the way they are, you get the answers, man. I ain't seen Mbappe do it with the best players around him year after year with PSG, Di Maria, Messi, Neymar, Ibrahimovic, Verratti, Dembele. When did Mbappe play with Ibrahimovic? It's a new one to me. Bro, Omri should have won it in '06, and if he did, but the fact that he didn't win it in '03, like Ballon d'Or, it's popularity contest, man. Yeah, we need to stop complaining at this point about price tags. If we want more, we've got to spend the bag, man. I just want us to spend correctly. I mean, Arsenal have never, broken. Well, we bought Havertz for 65 million. We did buy Declan Rice. We did buy Pepe, but we've never been that club that's gonna, do that mad stuff. But we've shown sometimes buying players for mad money sometimes does not work. Sometimes buying them cheap, you do get a deal, or you get what you pay for. There needs to be a bit of a balance, and I don't think it's been perfect, but I do think Mikel Arteta and Edu in the last two, I might stretch it and say three, but definitely the last 2 years, the hits to miss where signings have worked have been a lot better. Like when we signed Kai Havertz, you lot can go back. I said I wasn't on this hating on the guy thing, getting at him. Was I convinced with Kai Havertz? No. Could I see how he makes us stronger and obviously gets us closer to City? No. I was of a thing where Arteta, you show me you can develop players. And I know you're not a miracle worker, which I think some of our fans are a bit weird, and they think that, he can sign any damsel in distress and turn any hoe into a housewife. But I was on this, you do your thing with him. Timber, I got it. Rice, I got it. Raya, I thought it was a bit harsh, but I kind of got it. And that gives me confidence, really, because, we've shown we can, when we spend in the bag on Declan Rice, it's going to work. Kai, nobody cares about your 65 million now at this moment in time. We have bought people on the cheap like Pablo Marie, but then we've also bought dons like Tomiyasu. It's been a lot better. Timber is going to be a shrewd addition as well. So just keep it up, man. Winning ways, you're remembering yourself. Neymar, people don't rate Neymar I just think they don't like the guy. I think with Neymar, I understood why you left Barcelona, but in hindsight, you shouldn't have went to PSG. I understand they probably sold you a dream. We're going to build a team around you. We're going to do this and that, but probably shouldn't have left there. I think injuries haven't helped him as well. And he's got that Brazilian thing that, I want to party. I want to do all these things. I think for considering Neymar actually left Barcelona, left Brazil at 23 years of age for what he went on and did, and played a key role as well. People have to give him his flowers, but he's another one. Yeah, I had to repent for my Vinny sins, man. To be fair, Benzema gave up on him. I can't be... Listen, when I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong. He did it in his first year. Pep ain't that great when it comes to the champs. If you ask me, he's a league monster. The Champions League's a different ball game, man. It's a different ball game. But that might be a regret. But I mean, what? He's won it three. We're saying that, and I hear it for the way we talk about Pep Guardiola. But the man's won it 3 times, and I'll always rate Pep Guardiola because you could say money thing and whatnot. Sir Alex Ferguson, pound for pound, when Pep was coming around, the best manager in Europe, had no answers for him. The Wembley game was amazing for me to watch because that was just showing that I don't think there's anything Man United could have done differently and got a different result. That was just the footballing god saying this is a generational side. But if you go back to the Rome game where Barcelona beat Man United in Rome and Messi scored that header against Rio Ferdinand, there was all of this. There was still that rhetoric around they only do it in Spain. They can't really play football. They're struggling against English sides. This, that, and people. It's only, I say recent as an exaggeration, but some of you that are old enough to remember, it's quote unquote only recently now that people stopped all that BS about Messi can't do it against English clubs. He's dunked on every one of them, including mine. He was no brownie points for mashing up Almunia, but Messi was hella disrespectful to Almunia. I remember there was one, he was one-on-one with him. He's kind of like, you see when Ozil used to do that striking the ball into the ground thing, he's done that to chip it over him and then just volleyed the ball in the back of the net for no reason. Like, Messi, damn, I'm one of your fans. Why are you doing this to my club? But yeah, that Rome final, boy. Wembley was more enjoyable though, because it's like, I'm not going to lie, Ronaldo. Man United used to bully this league. It's like seeing the school bully, yeah, that used to beat everybody up, take everyone's lunch money, just mash up everyone. Finally seeing someone mash them up, like, it was lovely. Obviously, Arsenal, we had a couple little valiant scraps, with United. Got 1-2 bangs in, but we lost the fight. Yeah. You've got Portugal versus Sevilla next. Oh, that's going to be a decent one to watch in the pub. Sorry, people's busting my stretches. Austria versus Turkey is going to be lit. Now that I've said that, I've ruined it. That's one for the hipsters. I've ruined it. And that's a good little even game as well, man. I'm happy for Austria and Turkey. Respectfully to them, because they ain't playing a Germany or a Spain. They're playing each other. You know, the Austrians should be bullish against Turkey. The Turkish should be fairly bullish against the Austrians. Ralph Rangnick doing his thing. There's rumours Kylian Mbappe after the Euros will have surgery on his nose. Actually, after his Real Madrid presentation. I mean, Real Madrid is scary news at club level, man. Imagine being a defender and you got to play Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo, and the whole other quality players they got. Jeremy Doku and Kevin De Bruyne are serious. I don't rate the Belgian manager. I would trade places with you. You could do YouTube. I'd love to manage. But I don't know. I'm reaching, but Vertonghen seems to be the only one that I've ever seen this guy. When the camera pans to the Belgian manager talking, Vertonghen seems to be the only one that's actually listening. You know when someone's talking nonsense and you're like, yeah, that's crazy. That seems like what all the Belgian players have been doing throughout the whole tournament. Extra time is still a possibility. I think I said 2-1 France. You should never change your prediction, but I'm going to change it to 1-0 France. Kylian Mbappe. And to be honest, statistically, can France and England meet in the final? If we do play them, make sure you score in that final, because you see if Saka wins the Euros, I'm shameless. Second half soon begin, folks. Bro, Real Madrid, it's not even career mode. It's like, you know, when you play Football Manager for a number of years and you win the Prem, you win the champs, you've got the best players. They're at the point now where, you know, you just start buying wonder kids to eventually replace the existing players. That's what they're doing now. Like, they're probably, I mean, you can't say you ever be relaxed to losing someone like Toni Kroos, but Real Madrid's probably the best team to deal with that. You got Tchouaméni, got Camavinga. I want to see what Tchouaméni's. I actually want to see how Real Madrid go, because there will be periods where Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Bellingham, one of you will have to ride the bench. Come on, ref, what's going on? Belgium to kick off the second half at the referee's discretion. First half, if you're just tuning in, big up yourselves. You're not missing anything really and truly. You haven't missed anything really. Vertonghen's gone long. Conde wins the header. Griezmann first time. Kante first time. Thuram gives it to Griezmann. Plays a give and go. Thuram's out on this right-hand side now. Wait. Isn't Arsenal the English team Messi has scored on the most even? I don't. It probably is. It probably is. He used to stat pad against us. He's probably the most disrespectful player I've seen play in my club, man. Like, you've scored some disrespectful finishes. Ronaldo has scored some disrespectful finishes. I just think where Vardy, Harry Kane, Jogba are concerned, they're just used to bully and just be our nemesis. Unpopular opinion, Jogba was a great player, but where I look at people who used to bully Arsenal in comparison to the others, I don't really rate Jogba's thing, because he was bullying the puppies. Come on, you're playing against Vermaelen and Traore and some under sevens. Xhaka versus Rice going to be interesting. I don't think they directly be playing each other on the pitch, but I hear it. Messi never chilled on us. He must have some mad agenda against Wenger or something. To be fair, if you're Messi, you probably want to dump on the English clubs the most. I mean, let's be honest. It's not even to do with it just being Arsenal or Man United or anything, but collectively as Premier League fans and where England goes, as a nation, there's a serious lack of humility. There's a lot of, you know, my grandma always used to say, empty barrels make the most noise. And that is how the English are probably portrayed. And that's how we've carried on. That's why everybody rejoices when England turn back or there's any else. Kevin De Bruyne finds Lukaku. No foul. Saliba does well to get a touch. Lukaku, join WWE if you want to do wrestling. We're playing football. Saliba's got you in his pocket, mate. God, please. All I care about is Saliba not getting ripped. I don't really like. I do think new age football fans, you know, they do a lot. Somebody does a skill against someone has a bad game or someone loses, it's the end of the world. But Saliba is one person I hate to see get skinned. Not that I've seen that. Openda for 50 million wouldn't necessarily be against it. Just prepared to defend against the Swiss, prepared to defend against it. I've only got blind optimism where it comes to England. I think that's all you can have. Pardon me, there's nothing on the pitch to suggest like England are going to do something serious. And You know, the Swiss, respectfully, are going to be the best team we've played. Apologies, up until this point. And yeah, you beat the Slovakians, but pound for pound, coaching, philosophy, looking like a functional unit. Slovakia were better. Slovenia were better. Denmark were better. I'm probably reaching a bit with the Serbian one, but I feel Serbia were better. So you're going against probably, you know, when it comes to the dark horses, the poster boys in the Swiss, and probably one of the best coach sides or one of the best teams in the Euros based on what they've done across all their games. And they beat the Italians, which we failed to do last time in the Euro. So, boy, not much optimism beyond blind faith. Kylian Mbappe cutting in off this left-hand side, plays a square pass to Kante. Kante, Tchouaméni, you saw your name in lights, deflected. It deflected off a Belgium defender, and the keeper's actually done well to make a save. It weren't even the best of strikes by Tchouaméni. It's actually the nonchalant kind of flick by, is it Faze of Belgium, actually probably made it look like a better effort than it actually was. Nonetheless, the Belgian keeper's equal. Not going to lie, there's been times where I've seen Saka get skinned whilst trying to come back on the defensive thing. I know he ain't an offender like that, but it pains me. It happens, man, but I'm not saying you, but I just think people forget what football is. It's going to happen. It's like it's well known. I don't think Kiro's a bad player, but I think he's mad overrated by some Arsenal fans. But I don't know why I always think of this. You know, when we drew against Manchester City and it was 0-0, I actually think he did well in that game. Bernardo Silva, who is technically one of the best players in the Premier League and playing at City, he turned him, which came to nothing. He turned him and everyone like, oh my God, you got turned. Bro, it happens. Silly foul by Apenda, if I'm honest. With that one. These commentators over in the US just overglazing Saliba. My days, we know the geezer is quality, but damn. I mean, why for that? But keep going, man. You know, if they were gassing up Canard, he wouldn't say anything, mate. But they are overdoing it, Carl. He ain't had to do much. Bale over Neymar. Big up Bale, but not for me. Big up Bale. I've met Bale. I got a picture of Bale. It's on my other computer. I don't know about now, but genuinely, you know, that's why, again, as much as I said there's arrogance with the English, that's not the case with Wales. Because I used to work at Spurs on match days. When I met Bale, and this is when he was coming into his own, you would not know that's Gareth Bale. He's mad humble. He's looking down. Like, he's mad humble. You wouldn't know that's Bale. Better man than me. Because you see me, I'm trying to get... Let's not even go down that route. Havertz was the one I was confident on, and I pray he continues to prove me right. Sancho is the only one on the market I'd say we could save per se. The Rashford shouts were wild, though. Oh, Marcus Rashford or Jadon Sancho. If I had to back Mikel Arteta to save one. I'm not gassing up Rashford with this, but I think Rashford's got a unique profile in the world of football, and he would be a monster on the transitions. But I think Jadon Sancho's more intelligent. So if you're more intelligent, you're more likely to retain information, which is a key thing I think goes over a lot of people's heads when discussing Bukayo Saka, actually. So I think Sancho's probably more likely to work out. But then I'd more want Rashford's profile, man. It's just how you can always change, but Rashford is 26. I don't think his IQ in comparison to that on the market or in the game of football, I don't think it's that high. I actually think it's still it's obviously not because he's more experienced, but I don't think he looks, in terms of his decision making across 90 minutes, doesn't look that much better than what he was when he first come on the scene or a few years. Even when I've said it, even when Rashford has scored like double figures, I've never quite been convinced. But I do like the fact he can get goals. He's a monster on the transition. On his day, he is quite good, but I don't know what you're going to get from Marcus Rashford. Like 10 games between him and Jadon Sancho, I think, and I assume it was worse comes to worse. Like neither player is doing what they will look like on YouTube. I think there's going to be a more acceptable level of performance from Sancho. What I mean by that is, like I said, 10 games. Yeah, I think Sancho is more likely to at least do some 6s out of 10s. I think Rashford, he's going to be 1 week, 20 million out of 10, 10 out of 10 the next, 7 the next. Then there's a period where it's 3s and 4s and you're asking him to get hooked at half time. I think for Rashford, though, he'd have to buy into working he'd have to work his socks off at Arsenal. But I do think one thing, I like Rashford's bravery, man. I think he deals with a lot of some of the comments he's valid, in it. And you know, when you're going on holiday, emotion, dead things, I hear it, but like a lot of it is quite harsh, man. And I think there is an agenda against Rashford away from football, like football critiques. We're not talking about that. The minute he started trying to do what a lot of the prime ministers and ministers in this country should have done, which makes sure some kids can have breakfast, there's issues there. Think as a footballer, you just got to do your thing, man. Because the same people that big you up, they're the same people that are going to turn you that they're going to turn on you. Kylian Mbappe, oof, skips past Carrasco. Go on then, Brazy. Skips past Kevin De Bruyne, goes for the shot. Just too much on that. 40 mil for Sancho isn't that bad. It isn't, but then again, and I'm no accountant, but he's going to be on big wages, and I don't care what a brother gets paid, but you're going to have to see some return. I wouldn't blame Kirill for his issues at left back too much because he shouldn't be in a position where we have to play him there in the first place. I mean, when he signed for us, people saying, "Oh, you can play left back, centre defensive mid," and I hear that. I do hear that. Like the man's not a left back, but whether like you still shouldn't be caught flat-footed as much. Your positioning should still be good. You still should be quote unquote difficult to beat in 1v1 situations. I like Kirill, but I think this is the role that you need to have at Arsenal unless there's some significant uplift in performances. And I don't think Arteta's convinced. Hard pass on Sancho, he ain't got the mentals. Them Love Island youths are volatile, man. Crazy volatile. You don't know what you're going to get from them. Depends on the family to be humble, but most of the time peeps tend to be patient. But if you go into centrals or beach places, visitors ruin it, but the locals are very nice, though. I mean, Bale just looks like he comes from humble beginnings and he's never forgot that. Like you could see the humility when he was playing for Wales, respectfully. Like you're playing with a couple man that in League Two and that didn't come across as someone that's looking down on their fellow person, which in life you shouldn't. Kirill isn't nasty enough at centre back. He isn't, but I don't think you have to be nasty. I just don't think his speed of thought is quite there. I don't know him. He could be the most confident man in the world, but he doesn't strike me as like he believes in himself fully. I think he's a bit of a charity case of Arsenal. I think Arsenal fans overdo it. Like again, you can only play what's in front of you, but like he came into the team at the right time. We're badding up teams up and down the country. You know, they're leaving within the first 10 minutes. You're not being tested. And I like Kirill for the squad. I'll be interested to see what's happening with Kirill if we do indeed sign someone else who can play on the left side or an out-and-out left back, which has been reported. Griezmann, Conde, and Mbappe miss kicks. Yeah, everybody, 10 minutes into the second half, I think we should all get ready for extra time, man, if it continues like this. This is horrible, man. Nah, let them both drown. Rashford, one-trick pony. Sancho doesn't have the skill set for the Prem, get couldas. Bit harsh. I think Sancho's got it, but I don't know what's going on. I think there's a United tax. Everybody's doing crap at United. And I just think Sancho's one of them volatile youths. Good hold-up play by Doku. Kevin De Bruyne. Timothy Cassandra, who was once linked with our football club. Carrasco. Onana. What can Onana make happen? Kevin De Bruyne. For Tongan to his centre-half colleague. Rashford needed as PSG's next mascot. Harsh. Harsh. Very harsh. I like Rashford though, man. But there's more questions than answers, and I think we need more answers than questions from some of our new signings. And I don't really, Arsenal have a track record of buying players that might have fallen by the wayside or, need a bit of confidence, but we can't always be saving people. Like, are we, a charity or are we trying to do this football thing? Onana's been fouled here, folks. Oh, wow. The refs let it go. Onana in Belgium, you've got to play to the whistle. This ref's been questionable, man. To be honest, the latter stages of the Euros, we've seen some questionable refereeing, some really, really questionable refereeing. Not saying it weren't in the group stages, but feels like every day we're seeing some questionable refereeing. Unpopular opinion, but I think to add to the entertainment, they intentionally get these incompetent black brothers. Griezmann, Conde, good block by Belgium, to be fair. Do you think the link-up play between some of the French players has been a lot more slicker in the second half? Jeremy Doku, he's done very well. Surely he's been fouled there. It's a very good free kick or whatever he's won there. Rashford will bang at Spurs or Chelsea. I mean, the way Chelsea are, I think you'll see the same. I think unless Rashford really pulls up his socks, I think the same Rashford you see at Man United, good and bad, will be the same you see at all those clubs. If I'm honest with you. To which I guess coming out of, you know, the academy, playing for your country, winning things for United, doing it, you know, having this career you've had, people can't really say much. But yeah, completely off topic. But that woman from the Wandsworth prison video has got bail. Wow. Lukaku up against Saliba. Saliba wins the header. It's okay, man. It's okay. Hernandez clears. Yeah, I think everyone get comfortable, man. Extra time's going to have to be a thing. Allegedly, Bayern Munich have reached an agreement with Xavi Simons. So personal terms haven't been an issue. Only one player did not lose possession a single time in the first half of France versus Belgium. Any guesses, folks? William Saliba. Boy. That's the only interesting thing, really. Glad she's free. Why did that Donny record it, though? There's no need. There was no need for him to do that. Messed it up. Them look had a good thing going. Especially if you're in jail, like, unless you're on some other stuff. You know, female company's hard to come by. Bro. She's definitely going to jail. In fact, you know what? They might buckle under the pressure, you know. They might buckle under the pressure. Apparently, she's in a swingers relationship. Do you know? Boy. Archie Gray could have been a good signing. I would have loved Archie Gray at the carpet, but like for him, obviously Brentford would have been great for you. But like, and I do think Archie Gray will play for England one day. But like, you look at Spurs, you're more likely to play games. Boy, Højbjerg is crap. Bentacle's picked up some injuries. Skip, I don't know what they're doing there. Arsenal probably going to bring in a centre mid, and they've got a bunch of other options. Nah, it weren't Kante. Doku getting punched up. Heard United want to hijack Elise from Bayern. Mikel Arteta needs to lock in. It's going to be anyone to nab that moves. It's us. You got to let it go, bro. Let it go, man. Mbappe surely fouled there. Oh, no. That looked like one of those fouls you make just to let them know, listen, if you're going to do any of that skill stuff, mate, not on my watch and not to me. Which is fair enough. William Saliba skips past Openda, doing too much. Slyly lost the ball there. Kevin De Bruyne, Saliba, now you've lost possession. Oh, the agendas are going to start. All right. Theo Hernandez. Big up you for saving Saliba. Saliba, someone slap his head. Wake up, man. Stop doing that Love Island stuff. Look at me, I'm William Saliba. I'm light skin. I'm 6 foot older. I could do everything in this world. Bro, please. Focus, man. You got you boss case in the first French game as well. Your bacon got saved. You owe him a pint or something. Your bacon got saved. Once again, it's fullbacks to the rescue. The most underappreciated position in world football. We don't get our praise. We just get mocked about being fake and false centre mids and wingers and all these things. Why are we inverting then? Kevin De Bruyne takes the corner. Saliba, you boss case. It's cool though. And again, to be fair, that's football, innit? Your teammates have to save you. Saliba did. He was feeling himself too much there. But even that, football's cruel. Because we just said Saliba ain't lost possession. He's tried a thing and he's lost it once and we're on to him. Thuram's off. You lot try to convince me he's good, man. Wow. They're bringing on Colomani. Fucking hell, mate. Talk about pick your poison. Listen, I can't diss them, but I'd genuinely like to know, yeah, like, for all the talent France have, yeah, are these really two of the best striking or attacking options you lot can rise up? It's horrible, man. I'd rather see Thuram than Colomani. Onana. Cassange skips past Colomani and then Cruyff turns him again and finds Onana. Fullback union. Onana. Don't lose it. Arsenal are watching. Onana. Doing too much. Lost it. Never a foul. I can't believe Belgium shirts are appealing for a foul. Rabiot. Colomani. Kante. Rabiot. Mani. Fraud. See? It's not a foul. Get up. Get this guy off the pitch already, man. Eat shit. You lot can't convince me. If he was from England, he would have got nicked for intent to supply blood. You shit, man. He wouldn't be a footballer. And it's a joke. I can say that. You be in press play videos, man. You're not a baller, man. Why are you wearing the new Preds? I can't believe you got a boot sponsor. You're meaty, man. The Sharps, you're shameless. That's never a free kick. A pender is off. They're bringing on Mangala. Trossard, get warm, man. This is Trossard's thing. Super sub. You know what? Shall I change my bet? I can't believe how slow this match is. It's one of them. Where's Dembele? Did I miss an injury, suspension or something? I don't know, man. Is he on the bench? Let's see. Let's actually take that to VAR. Surely could just be a tactical decision because both teams started with two up front, actually. No, Osman Dembele's on the bench. Spare a thought for young Warren Zaire-Emery, man. He ain't played a part in this tournament, has he? DG is not joking that England are Tottenham of the Euros. I get you. We are, man. Definitely. Always the bridesmaid. Never the bride. But we're here. Man said Thuram should put his mother's name on the back of his shirt. No disrespect. His younger brother's better than him, man. Even though he's a centre mid. I'd rather watch Thuram than Colomani, though, man. William Saliba. Tchouameni. Is it raining? To be fair, with the sun we've had in London, if it does rain, we've been due that. Or is that the bubbles from my drink making that noise? Colomani into Rabiot's path. Kante, stay out of this. Griezmann. Yeah, everyone gets set, man. Just over half an hour left. We definitely got extra time. Good talent, Gray. He did the right thing. Waited for a better team than Brentford. Spurs are ish. All that's came in for. I mean, to be fair, Postecoglou's a good coach, but I think Brentford have a track record of developing talents. To be fair, is that a corner for France? Okay, that angle showed it was, but they've not been given that. What happened there? What happened there? Can you not hear me? What did you send the mics? What's going on there? What have you? Wales this week going to be raining, then it's going to be a heat wave again. I mean, one thing us English people do is moan about the weather, myself included. I just think because with England, like when it's not like going on holidays. It's just heat. There's no breeze. You don't feel authentic. It's just heat. Jeremy Doku. Upamecano's done well there. Oh, Lukaku's also done well to prevent him from clearing his lines. Throwing. DJ, I think with Kyrgios, he's one of these players you can't really break down what his main strengths are. Even Zinchenko, we know what he can offer on the pitch. I agree. I was like, big up Jess. She knows Arsenal, but like when she tells me, like when me and her always have a debate about Kyrgios, like I genuinely want to know Kyrgios' strengths. Like, what does he excel in? I'm not boying him, but he's got pace. He's got good recovery pace. You should have that. You know, you're a good passer, which I'll get onto that. But you're a Polish international. You're a professional footballer. I'm not saying you should be Xavi or Pirlo, but you should be a good passer. What is his outstanding attributes? And if you have not got outstanding attributes, then you should be at least competent sixes out of everything. Does Kyrgios have that? And I'm not trying to hate on the guy. Like like for me, when Jess says, because she's the best example, because we always debate this. When she says Kyrgios is a good passer, I'm not doubting it. But in comparison to his teammates, who is he? When have you seen this display of passing? And if he has got this passing range, why have you not got the confidence? Yeah, you could say when you're in and out the squad, but there's, Arteta promotes confidence. And like in terms of his passing, to be gassing up his passing in comparison to his teammates, is his passing better than Tomiyasu's? I don't think it is. We all know Zinchenko's an issue if we're trying to move forward. It's not better than his. It's not better than Saliba's. It's not better than Gabriel's. Let's focus on centre halves. If Timber plays, it's not better than his. I like Kyrgios. But I think for him, at some point, he's going to have to go somewhere, sit down, and try and really, really go and play somewhere. Carrasco's, I think, inadvertently been knocked in his face. Right. Still 0-0, folks. We hope and pray to see a goal. Saliba to Tchouaméni. I wish he was at Arsenal, man. So same with you, Theo Hernandez. Rabiot. I mean, neither team really moved the ball fast enough to break down the other opposition. And you couple that with little to nothing in the final third. We can't really be surprised it's 0-0, folks. Tchouaméni attempts to switch play. That's a good knockout to Theo Hernandez. Finds Rabiot. You know what? Bring on Giroud, man. He loves a dramatic goal. Rabiot advancing forward. Lovely shielding the ball. Kante. Kylian Mbappe. What's Mbappe going to do? You can give it back to Kante? Ooh, drop of the shoulder. You lot can't convince me Mbappe's not good. He's found Griezmann. Griezmann lays it. Tchouaméni, let's go. You're not that guy, man. Anyone that says Mbappe is not good is a hater, man. Mbappe and Griezmann have done very well. Tchouaméni, man. Come on. You got to keep that down, man. You've got to hit the target, man. You've got to hit the target, man. The way you're moving, you're lucky Camavinga's not right-footed, though. You might have to hit bench. But I've seen Koulibaly have 2 efforts. I mean, Tchouaméni have 2 efforts. I ain't seen nothing from Koulibaly. Didn't see nothing from Marcus Thuram. These are not serious brothers. This is quite horrible, man. I mean, I wasn't expecting this game to be amazing, but like, come on. I like Kirill. I think he's a steady Eddie type of player. His 6s across the boards. Probably is, man. Top 20 percentile for interceptions and tackles. Top 10 percentile for passing. Not a start for Arsenal, but 100% a player that has raised the floor. Yeah, he's definitely raised the floor. He's a competent player. I like Kirill. I do think when you look at the percentiles, they probably have to be adjusted to the minutes you played. I don't think Arteta is 100% convinced on Kirill for what it's worth. I think his inability to play as an inverted left back, and I don't really feel he provides great competition for Gabriel, but I like him in the squad. And Kirill is one of them that there would only be 3 reasons as to why I would sell him. Sorry, cut the track. Lukaku, big save by McGann of France. There'd be 3 reasons why I'd sell Kirill. First is if the man says I want to leave, to which you can't keep players that don't want to be here. Obviously, if we get an offer we can't refuse. Provided that, well, it's 2 really. Provided that we've obviously got another body, because I don't know. I feel it feels a bit weird with Arsenal's defensive depth, because on the surface, I wouldn't say we're well stocked, but we're quote unquote well stocked. But then when you break it down, we're not. Intricate play from Hernandez and Mbappe came to nothing. I like Kirill, man. I want to see a bit more confidence from him. That's the only thing. I think you're calm at everything. You're a decent passer. You're a decent defender. That's about it. Why was Courtois left out? Didn't he only play in the Champions League final? Not a clue, man. Not a clue, man. Oh, Mbappe and Vertonghen getting into verbal. Hey, punch him up, man. Punch him up. Shout out, Vertonghen, mate. You play for Spurs. You talking about? Ref, come on, they're grown men, man. It's an attacker and a defender getting into verbal. This is what we live for. Stop it, ref, man. Nobody died. To be fair, I don't even know what they're beefing about, really. It's what you want to see, man. No, that's a good tackle from Mangala of Belgium. You can't really be asking for a pen from a French perspective there, can you? Still anxious on what we're doing with Partey. I think it's just going to be more of the same, man, really. I wouldn't sanction Partey. I mean, it's a weird one because, pardon me, it's a weird one with Partey because he's clearly valued by Arteta. He's clearly one of those players when fit starts for us. You could see in the running how much he played. But for the vast majority of last season, whether we look at, when Partey was playing, well, he was playing right back and then he jumped off a cliff. When you look at the December period when we was rocking up and down the country and turning over teams and all those talking points, it feels he missed a large chunk of the season. And as much as I like Partey, the man can't stay fit. We had the season before last was an anomaly. The man was fit for the majority of the season. Other than that, the very fact of I think he's got 95, maybe 100 Premier League appearances, but 95, I'm pretty sure. He's been here since 2020. That tells you the issues with Partey. I wouldn't sanction Partey leaving until we bring in a midfielder. And it's a hard sell where Partey is concerned, man. I think with Partey, I look at the ability and the quality, it's all there, but it's almost irrelevant because if we never see it, it doesn't really matter. He's 31. He's just had a family, probably settled in London. And it's one thing wanting to sell a player, it's another thing getting offers. And, Partey's probably on big money. Who's going to give us when I say decent, we know we're not getting anything close to 45 million quid that we initially paid for Partey, or 50, whatever it was. But quote unquote, a decent fee. Who's really going to be giving that to us? Where, from now, you sit on your hands for about 6 months. January, you can get him to leave next season for free. And even with Partey, he might say, you know what, I want to fulfill the duration of my contract, get my loyalty bonus. Last 2 years, we've been fighting the Premier League. I like being here. I might not want to leave. I think Partey is. I think you've got the Eddie and corner kick to the French. I think you've got the Eddie and Nketiahs, the Nelsons. I don't really want to throw Smith Rowe in there, but the Smith Rowes, the Tavares, the Tierney's, probably Ramsdale now as well because he wants to go. Them players there that are corner kick to the French. Say if it's come to nothing, them players that the club are actively trying to move on. And then I think you've got Partey, Jesus, Zinchenko, Kiri, or these kind of players that if they filled offers, I thought Saliba done the madness. Them players that will be moved on. Oh my God, twinkle toes for my centre back. I thought he slapped it with the left peg. I thought the replay ain't doing it justice. It looks dead in the replays. I thought Saliba did a madness. I thought he did a madness. Oh man, I thought he scored. Sorry for the shouting. To be fair, what Saliba did there, that's more than what we've seen in the final third from a lot of the French attackers. I thought he did it. I was going to be shameless and say goal of the season contender and all sorts. Goal of the tournament. I was going to be so shameless. I saw his name in lights. Unlucky William, man. Now I don't care about that little shaky moment a few periods ago. But that's the double-edged sword with Saliba. He takes risks. And I think not even gassing up Saliba, but it's a double-edged sword. Like somebody mentioned Verratti. How many times, would you see Verratti take it off his goalie and just turn in the box when there's 20 players around him? 9 times out of 10, he got away. But one time he wouldn't. It would lead to a goal. I'm sure that happened in his last season, maybe second to last season at PSG. But you've got to go and do it again and again and again. Lukaku keeps winning knockdowns, but no one is there to pick up the seconds. Bring on Robbie Williams, this guy. I big up Happy Man in the cup. My prediction is so far, Germany or Spain are winners of the tournament. Courtois allegedly had some drama with the coach, and they're actively beefing. But you better put that to the side for the nation, man. But to be fair, I don't want to jinx the Belgian keeper. But he's barely put forward. Oh, that was a late one. That was a late one by Koulibaly on Vertonghen. That was nasty. That was nasty. Vertonghen's been booked. Yeah, the French players are onto Vertonghen. Koulibaly had a bit of a kick out, a late one. Get back for Mbappe. That was a bit nasty by Koulibaly, weren't it? TG, we're so lucky to have Saliba. We are on one hand, but at the same time, this is what competence does for you, man. Like, and I must admit, I'm exaggerating a bit, but I'm a bit disappointed because you look at the gold mine of French talent and the historical French ties at Arsenal. Like, cool, we got Saliba, but and I know it's easier said than done. But could we not have got Kante? Could you at one point? Could you not have got Kylian at one point? Could you not have got Dembele? Of course, probably not. But yeah, we could have got a couple more of these. Kylian Mbappe, Kante. You lot know I love Arsene Wenger, but when you was coming out and saying I've known Kante since he was 14, them things used to pee me off because cool, you knew him since he's 14, but why didn't we grab him before Leicester or when he was moving to Chelsea? Tchouaméni, that was a poor pass. Lukaku cannot find Kevin De Bruyne. Lukaku and link-up play is one of the scariest sights to watch. Tchouaméni. Griezmann. Get ready for extra time, folks, man. I hope not. Because the game ain't worthy of extra time. It's actually not worthy of extra time. Ain't no one trying to see extra time in a game like this. But, yeah. It's absolutely terrible. Saliba. Upamecano. I know I give him a lot of flank, but he's actually done all right. There's 13 minutes left. Conde. Kante. Tchouaméni. Saliba. Punches it into Colomani. Oh, that's a decent switch of play. Conde. He's falling to Mbappe, for fuck's sake, man. You lot, come on, man. Is there enough air in this football? How many times have these French lads ballooned these efforts? Who knows, man? The England game wasn't worthy of extra time, and that changed very quickly. It was. Pardon me. Bias. This game ain't worth nothing, man. Hopefully one goal sparks it into life, but never a foul. Oh, ref, come on. That's a fortunate one for Onana there of Belgium. Mangala, apologies. Mbappe missing again. Nah, you know, it wasn't a clear-cut chance, but Mbappe could do better than that. But really, like, Mbappe's had a couple ones that are fired over. We've seen Saliba have an effort. We've seen Kante go for goal. Maybe a couple other French lads who are not known for goals. What does it say? To be honest, it should be expected because I wouldn't say France have been at their best in this tournament. Tchouaméni. Rabiot had a decent tournament, I feel. Maybe Mbappe's a bit frustrated. He's in this last couple of moments, people, he's just standing very narrow. Conde. Tchouaméni. Can we get Camavinga on? Saliba. Theo Hernandez. 11 minutes left. Captain Mbappe. Running into nowhere. Hernandez done very well. To be a friend for the French, though. Mbappe, one player you're not fooling today with them drop of the shoulders has to be Onana. It's another decent. Again, it ain't been amazing from either team, but it's another one where I've watched Belgium and thought, you know what, Onana's been a lot better than his teammates, even though it's not much to scream and shout about. I guess you're being a standout. Said he wanted to use this tournament as a platform. Conde delivers into the hands of the Belgian goalie. Mbappe is far from clinical, and that's why I say Vinny is better. His finishing went up a level only that 1 year when Benzema was getting onto him when he fixed up. Would you necessarily define Vinicius Jr. as clinical? You sound like you got an agenda against Kylian. What did he do to you? 10 minutes left. I'm not looking forward to extra time if this is how it's going to be. I'd rather see French or Belgium tears with a last-minute winner now. Thought Hernandez was fouled there. He was fouled there. Come on, Saliba, take it quickly, man. Take it quickly. Come on. Upamecano. I mean, it's not the worst of balls, but you've gone to Colomani. To be fair, I was going to diss Marnie. He's done well, really, to turn not the best of passes into a good one. Griezmann. Conde. Just feels like for the French, once they get into the, like, on the edge of Belgium's area or in and around that, it's not really any ideas. Mbappe. Tchouaméni. Vinny creates his own goals and scores big goals when his team's needed. I mean, you could apply that to Mbappe as well. Surely that's a Belgian free kick. Kante, what was that? Kante's been a bit quiet in the second half. Of course, Neymar's a better footballer than him. Neymar's a better footballer than Vinicius as well. Neymar's better than... Well, to be fair, I don't think there's a player in Europe that Neymar's not better than, technically. Oh, that was a cute turn to evade. Oh, Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni got turned. Doku found Kevin De Bruyne. It's another good effort by the Belgians. That was lovely from Doku. See if Doku could do that on a consistent basis. Crazy. Feel sorry for Timothy Cassage. He's eager to take this throw in. Like, where's his options? For how long? Cassage still not taking this throw. Finally, Carrasco, Cassage. Another Belgian throw. Is it too late to change my predictions? I did change it from 2-1 France to 1-0 France. Could it be 1-0? Could it be 1-0 Belgium, in fact? Imagining Conquer, Mbappe, and Elise with Griezmann, Tchouameni, and Camavinga as the front six. To be fair, you never know. Christopher Nkunku, had he have not had the injury stuff he had at Chelsea, he may be in the squad. I think the only reason Giroud's not on is he's probably not got the legs. Not that Giroud's ever relied on pace. Probably ain't got the legs as he used to, man. I think he's actually agreed to move to America as well. Jeremy Doku, Kante, and Conde would have been on that. Conde was the one to nick it. It's a throw-in. 7 minutes left. Great play from Doku there. Set Kevin De Bruyne. He didn't have much time to think about it. He went for the shot. Don't think you could have asked anything more from Kevin De Bruyne, given the circumstances. Lovely drop of the shoulder by Onana. Cassage. Lukaku. Saliba nicks it. It's not your fault. Hey, Lukaku, get out of his pocket, man. Let me stop because Lukaku, this is the game for you to finally get a legit goal. It's a lovely ball into this right-hand channel. The problem is, with the greatest of respect, is to N'Golo Kante. He's got Griezmann inside. But that's the thing. It's going to players who are going to slow this down. He's finally found Griezmann. Griezmann, Rabiot. And this is where it gets a bit predictable. Rabiot to Mbappe. Mbappe's pass isn't the best. Theo Hernandez does well. Remains brave. Is he going to swing his right peg at it? Finds Griezmann. Griezmann. Conde. It's got to amount to something, France. Kante. Good ball. Colomani. I always believed in this guy, you know. Hey, who said you was dead? Who said you was dead? Super sub by Tchouameni. Lovely build-up play. Ale, bleu, ale. Have taken the lead. Hey. We're gone. We're gone. We're gone. We're gone. Look at Saliba in the celebrations. As a proud Frenchman, as an absolute proud Frenchman, let me put on my boyhood club before I knew what Arsenal was. Paris Saint-Germain. We're back. We scored. Yeah. Ale, bleu, ale. All come from Big William Saliba nicking it off Lukaku. Lukaku, come on, man. It's over, man. Go America. Become a rapper. It's over, bro. It's over. Great build-up play. And I think credit has to go to Theo Hernandez. It's finally come off for the French. Hernandez, Griezmann, Conde. To be fair, Koulibaly had a lot to do. It is a beneficial. Kante as well. It looked like it took a slight deflection. It did take a deflection off a Tongan, but you don't buy a raffle ticket. You don't win the lottery. Who didn't believe in him? He's wearing the number 12, the famous number 12 for France. One of you lot said he wasn't rated. He's not good. There's a reason he's in the French team. I always believed in Colomani. Oh, hey, from your, what was you? I saw you was at Frankfurt. You're sick, man. I've always believed in you, bro. Always believed in you. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Deschamps taking a leaf out of Southgate's book. Bringing on strikers to impact the game. Hey, Koulibaly, 30. Always believed in you, my guy. I never talk shit about Nico Williams. That's a lie. TG was sold. Oh, we already seen that. Football gods, please make Tchouameni fall out of Real Madrid. Boy. De Bruyne bottled, then France scored. That's a nasty agenda, you know. Nasty agenda. Jeremy Doku. Kante and Rabiot say, let's keep it moving. Mbappe, skin him. Oh, Mbappe, you're better than that. We don't care about that. Vertonghen play for Spurs. Forget him. Savaged. To be fair, it's unfortunate. International comp specialist Koulibaly. Boy, don't give up on guys. Because why we're on YouTube, mate, and you're playing. Griezmann and Doku look like they're having a bit of a kicking out of each other. Onana. Belgium hype, man. Safe. Goodbye, man. This is surely the end of it. To be fair, it's a bit harsh. It's a bit harsh to say bottle job from Kevin De Bruyne today, man. Obviously, it's a big game. You want to see these guys make the difference. But it's a bit harsh to say he's bottled it today. I do think he's been a bit quiet, but bottled, I don't think. Nasty agenda. Stop bringing Spurs players or ex-Spurs players to tournaments and expecting serious things. Belgium making subs. Carrasco off. I can never say this. Cassandra off as well. Surely. So who's going right back? Is it Di Calatea? I can't say this guy's name, but he's at Atalanta. He was at AC Milan. And they're bringing on Lucabio as well. I mean, surely the Belgian manager's sacked after this. It's another lost generation. Should have called up the Congo. Wait. Meanwhile, Belgium ranked third in FIFA rankings. That must be because of their results in the qualifiers, man. I mean, Saliba's always enjoyed his tackles, man. DG, you have a new sub. What does that mean? Alright, FN_Flowsy. Big up you, man. Now I understand what you're on about. Hey, big up you for doing that. And shout out the Twitchers. Wouldn't be a Euros watch along without DG gaslighting me into believing that he always rated these players. That's deep. The Nico Williams one, I don't understand because everything I've said stands true. Well, I've maintained he's a good player. He just needs to play like how he's playing now at a high level. Shouldn't be wowed by this. You've got to protect. You shouldn't be moved. When Saka plays good, I'm not moved. Oi, aye, Saliba, you're not injured. You're not injured, my serious slide tackle. Cut my Rolls Royce of a defender. Lastly, have you ever seen Saliba not with a haircut as well? Hey, boys, 0-0. William Saliba. Man tried to tell me Lissandro Martinez is better than him. Crazy. I'm surprised Trossard ain't on that. Nah, Trossard. Go on holiday, lad. We've got pre-season. You don't need to come on. You don't need to come on. And to be fair, Trossard can't complain that he's not on. Pardon me. He stunk up the place for Belgium. Imagine if Belgium get a dramatic equaliser. Oh, they might. Jeremy Doku. Hernandez. Someone could have told Hernandez he had time there, you know. Wait, what? Is William Saliba the best in the Prem? I'm thinking over the last 18 months he was, but I think he's up there. I'm therefore going to be shameless and say it. But do I think he's convinced? Like, is he convincingly better than a Diaz? Convincingly better than a Van Dijk? I think he's got a debate. He's definitely one of the top. And I think Brazilian Gabriel is as well. He might not be the sexiest. But this is what I want to see from Saliba. You're shining in the French team as well as in the Arsenal team. Kevin De Bruyne don't want it. Let me talk. Where's this creativity now, man? Who do you think is the best? I'd say for me, Diaz, you know. Diaz, Saliba, or Van Dijk, any one of them. I mean, Saliba's done it the last 2 years now. And he's managed to get better this season than he was last year. I think the only time Saliba's a bit like Declan Rice and that the only time they've been quote unquote poor for me is when the whole team has kind of been. I think the most impressive thing about Saliba is his temperament, never looks overawed. But saying that, the only time across last season I ever saw, you know, because again, Saliba's still in his early 20s. He's still a young man. The only time Saliba, in my opinion, has looked like that was in the second leg against Porto and one of the 2 games against Bayern. What a player. And when they said Arteta don't want him and that. Big Gabby was better. I don't know. Because I don't think Big Gabby gets the flowers. I don't think it's cool to rate Gabriel. It's like being a dad and having 2 kids. And like Gabriel's the older brother. Saliba's the wonder child. I think it's a great partnership. They both allow each other to thrive. They're both getting better. And I'd love to know in Arteta's mind, yeah. Obviously, everything Arteta's done, you brought Saliba back at the right time. But just to know, I'd love to know, like, what didn't convince you at the time with William Saliba? Because a lot of our fans were doing, oh, he doesn't rate him. He's going on loan again. He don't rate him. What wasn't it? Because I personally think it wasn't the right environment for him when we was a shambles of a club. But then again, when we had Mustafi and Socrates and all these guys, Saliba could have learned on the job and done no worse. I'd love to know with Martinelli as well, because Martinelli wasn't always a starter. Kevin De Bruyne's corner came to nothing. You lot going home, mate. Mbappe still couldn't bring it under control. Hernandez, Rabiot, Theo Hernandez. No way you could get a free kick for that. Yeah, that. What was the Sharps cooking all that time he had Saliba on the bench? I think Saliba's greatest strength is what the Sharps doesn't like personally. I think he's too calm. And like you've seen Saliba, obviously he's done a couple of good things, but he had that little one moment where, you know, he could have been cooked. I think Deschamps is more, he more wants an organic defender that you never see with that. And then at the same time, to be fair, he's been using the other centre halves a lot more. Koulibaly, run love. Not gonna lie, Kante been the best player for France so far. Do you know what? I think this is finally one of his more quiet games, but generally this tournament, 100%. I would say for me, the French players that I feel have stood out the most, shameless, I'm gonna say Saliba, but I don't really mean that. I'd say Kante and Hernandez, if I'm honest. And that's the end of the game. And that's surely the end of the Belgium golden generation. The Belgians are out. The French are through. It wasn't pretty. You lot were in great top form. You lot always great in the chat. This game was not nice to watch. But at the end of the day, all that matters is winning. DG, quick question. You know how these players get paid weekly? Who pays them when they're playing for the national team? I guess the footballing associations. But I did read somewhere that now a lot of players, they just donate the money they get for playing for their countries to charity. I'm not going to lie, I respect that, but I don't know if I would. I think City defenders only look good because they always have possession, same with Edison. But that's true. But we could say that Arsenal as well now, really slightly. I think Saliba will play for Real Madrid one day. Lenny Yoro's going to give him a few years. He's 18. Give Lenny Yoro a couple times. He'll be up there, in my opinion. Trossard starts and Belgian win. Agendas have to run. You're going to watch the next match at the pub, yeah? Yeah, I'm taking 100 million for Saliba. Unfortunately, I don't want to, but it's 100 million. I don't know how far that's going to go to find a replacement, but 100 million. You can't say. Would Arsenal say no to it? If we ever had £100 million bid for Saliba, would they say no? Would they say even no for Saka? I'd say yes and no. Saliba bossed it. Come on, pocketed. He done very well against Lukaku today. I mean, Lukaku's had a terrible tournament. To be fair, like, I know no one really rates Lukaku like that, but Lukaku, Mbappe, I'm not going to lie, in terms of goal scoring, Saka, a lot of the guys you thought would bag some goals in this tournament, they ain't really done that. It's been unlikely heroes, quote unquote. Trossard should cut out next season and bring in Nico Williams. DG, Real Madrid offers 90 million for Saliba, or Tchouameni and Camavinga swap for Saliba and Gabriel. Would you do it? No, because finding two centre-backs is a madness. If Real Madrid were to offer you Rudiger for Saliba right now, would you, DG? No, because I think Rudiger's ready right now, but then how long is he going to have left? I'd rather just want the 100 million. No one even surprised about the result. Kevin De Bruyne turns up to these tournaments knowing he won't do ish. Seems like he's wasting his time. I mean, for Belgium, I mean, you've got Doku. You've probably got a couple of other great players coming through. But where the golden generation is concerned, and I guess you could throw Telemans into that. Obviously, Hazard, Kevin De Bruyne, Lukaku, at a time, Axel Witsel, Trossard. They've had a crop of players. It ain't really amounted to nothing. I don't know where Belgium go from now. I think that's the end of their manager's tenure as their gaffer. And I think Roberto Martinez is probably the happiest man, actually. In fact, it felt like, to be brutally honest, Belgium were better in the last tournament we saw from them, really. They still flat to deceive, but yeah, man. No, I'm not. They definitely need one. And Belgium look poor and poor every tournament. DG, do you see Martinelli move out slowly but surely? Is that crazy to think? Not really, but, I'm the worst person to ask about Martinelli, man. I'm incredibly biased towards him, if I'm completely honest with you. Let's activate. One love for resubscribing. Where you been? You're part of the furniture. You've just been silently here. Kay, big up yourself as well. So yeah, people, man, that's the end of this. I'm so happy there's not been an unnecessary extra half an hour. So yeah, big up you lot, people. Again, from Arsenal fans, transfer news videos soon land. Watch-alongs, videos. You can rest assured I'll get them out. But for now, you lot stay safe, stay blessed. One love.
Against this right back, Charlie.